Just coming into your breath, feeling what it feels like to be you. Immediately, I need to sneeze. All right. Um, yeah, I'm like, oh, I did a somatic thing of just going in for like around the solstice of like going into the darkness and letting go of all the sort of activity. And now I'm like, wow, it made me let go of the dark of let me go into the darkness. It enforced it. So let's take a few deep breaths. Inhale, open, stretch out and up. And exhale, just opening up to the heavens, opening up to the above, the transcendent, filling up your lungs, taking the breath deep down into your body. Exhale, bend your knees. If it feels okay to drop down to the earth, go for it. If you want to stay vertical, that's also fine. Inhale, lift, and exhale, bending your knees, releasing it down, or staying vertical. It doesn't have to be a huge drop forward. But this, when I go down in the beginning, I am just trying to let my spine release, but not get the biggest hamstring stretch. Right, they're not that warm yet. Better to stretch the hamstrings after they've warmed up a bit more. And my hamstrings are really open, so it isn't any stretch for me to do this. But if it is for you, maybe take it easier. Inhale, open. Let's just shake this one out. Inviting your lymphatic system online, right? Movement, deep diaphragmatic breathing. These are all detoxifiers of the body. So let's just take a few deep breaths. You're going to inhale up and exhale, push out. Inhale up, exhale, strong push out. Inhale up, exhale. One more. Inhale up, exhale. And then spirals. Just easy, gentle spirals. If this is too much twisting, then don't really twist. Let yourself just flex and let your arms swing. If you feel good and your spine is ready for some twisting, go all the way for the big twist with your weight evenly distributed between your two legs. Looking behind you. And then the other possibility is to do the sort of golf version where you go onto that front leg. There's a lot of other versions we could do. We could just bend and stretch, bending and coming up. And again, this could be like if you're keeping your spine a little bit more stable and not getting such a twist, just do the side to side. Get the spiral in your legs. All right, let's shake that out and let's do the lymphatic flush. So rubbing your hands together, getting some energy in there. Before we do the lymph flush, and this may seem kind of hoo-ha, but let's just take our hands to the outside of our body, like 6 to 8 inches away from your body. And it's kind of like you're cleaning off your whole energy system. I'm going to go down the front and around and up the back, down the front and up the back. Whether or not I mean, yeah, I don't know. You can take that however you want to take it, but just think of grounding yourself, lifting up, and like you're cleaning this cycle of energy around your body. And then let's go into that lymph flush. Right hand to the left clavicle, above and below your collarbone. Getting in there. Ha! Letting your inner body squish out the lymphatic fluid so it moves through your body. So nothing's stagnating. And this is where that subclavian vein is, right under your clavicle, returning into the blood and filtering out through your waste systems, your kidneys, all that. Other side, same thing. So we want to make sure that this return into the blood, this big gateway is clear before we start to do the other ones. It's really important that this is the starting place. Because if we start squishing from the edge in and there's blockages, then you're just creating more pressure at points that aren't moving. So we want to come right in up here. And then we're going to go into the angle of the jaw. I'm doing both sides. And I'm going to kind of go all the way under here towards my chin. And I'm actually going to do a pull from behind my ear, underneath towards my chin. I'm going to pull back, and then I'm going to grab my sternocleidomastoid and I'm going to bring that down towards my center of my collarbones where they're coming in together. So just inviting that stuff down, especially like in the morning, like all that glial lymphatic fluid is ready to move back into your system, right? Or to filter through your system. That's all the stuff in your brain. Cleaning the brain at night. That's why sleeping and deep sleep is so important to us. That's when the cleaning happens. All right, let's get in here to your face. Right, these are extra ones that we're doing. Well, this is an extra one, but if you are kind of getting sick, good time to do it. Right next to your nose, right here. Circles. There's the pea pod. Yeah, of course, she's gonna go scratch on the mat. Okay, you don't need to do that. They pretty much ignore me when I try and tell them not to do things. It's like, yeah, I do. I really do need to do that. Okay, so we got that place. You're gonna circle under just below your cheekbone. Get in there. Kind of squish up your face. We're gonna go for the full thing today. Open and close, squish, release. Get movement in the tissue of your face and the muscles. Good. Rub your hands together one more time. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. 10 little dragons running through the forest. All your hair, cranium, getting some movement. No follicle left untouched, whether you have hair or not up there. Getting that moving. Great. Shake that out. We'll go to K27 points, collarbones. You can see here's the edges of my clavicle. If I drop down, there's like 2 little indentation points right there. It is, you can really see them on me. Like I poke in there and you can see that's exactly where they are in my body. They should be like an inch or 2 below your clavicle, and then probably an inch or 2, a couple of inches apart, or an inch away from center. Circling in there. Relax. Breathe. Big breathing. Make some noise. Shake some stuff around. What are we doing? Shaking, releasing. We're just creating a little bit of freedom and less holding in our body. And then, thymus thump. I stepped on my cat's tail the other day, on Gaylord's tail. Let's make some noise with the thymus thump. I was in the kitchen and it was dark and all the cats were like around and I didn't know he was right under my foot and I stepped on his tail, which almost never happens. I think like I've probably stepped on a cat's tail in my household like a handful of times, but he was very upset about it. Quite rightly so. Poor Gaylord. All right, shake it out. Right hand to left armpit pec. And I mean, I don't think that it hurts so bad. I'm sure it wasn't comfortable because as soon as I felt that squishy tail under my foot, I got off of it. But I think it's as much pride and hurt that I would step on him as anything else. Shock. Change it to the other side, same thing. Good. And then cisterna So this is, there's my bottom of my ribs, xiphoid process. There's my belly button, smack dab in the middle. You're going to kind of push in and up like this, shelf in and up. Some big breaths. I'm taking a big sniff through my nose and then strong exhale out. Good. Shake that out. Inguinal fold between your pubic bone and your hip bones. Get in there. Maybe bend and straighten your legs. It's right there in the fold. And then behind your knees, behind the eye of the knee. And I take this part of my hand and circle it around. So this is the movement I'm doing behind my knee, like this. Anyway, with the flat of the side of my finger, or the curve, it's not really the flat, I don't know, the curve of the side of my finger. Good. Shake it out. Quickly below my nose, but I can already feel that my whole system has become more fluid. Less stuck, more movement in there. If you're really sick, I don't know that you should do this that energetically. Be really gentle with yourself. Like sometimes the breath work, like if I just don't do deep breath work if I'm actually really sick. But right now I just feel like I'm like kind of fighting something off. So like all of this kind of flushing, you can feel into it. Like, is it too much? Is it not enough? Listen to your own body. Generally, you can do this every day. And I would say should do it every day. Open it up. Big X. We're going to go elbow to knee, cross body movement. Touching in. Trying to actually make a connection between your elbow and your knee. Stretching out the other diagonal. Getting the blood flowing, getting the fluid flowing, and making this big weight shift. Take it to the back, hand to foot. Slow it down a little. Oops, kicking things behind me. Now, just for fun, we're going to try and do the same side. Same side. Change it to cross, cross, back. And then to the front, let's cross. I'm going to reach a longer leg and touch my hand to my ankle. More extension here, but not a straight leg, still bent. Now let's try the same side. Good. Shake it out, let it go. I'm getting very warm now. I turned the heat up when I got up. It doesn't take that long because it's not very cold outside. Circles with your shoulders. Letting that movement of your scapula and your rib basket, also known as your rib cage, a little bit of movement in there, letting the surfaces of your lungs on the inside have this lots of slidey glidiness so that the lungs are not adhering to the inside of the space between your ribs and your lungs. There should be a lot of slidey glidiness in there. Change direction if you haven't. I'm bending my knees, so it's like almost like a jump and then a landing with this arm circle, a shoulder circle. Let's do another one. Hands on your shoulders, elbows touching, and then opening out. Anytime you're doing arm circle stuff, and if it hurts in your rotator cuff, you can always just bend in, make it smaller, change direction. Big breathing. Don't rob yourself of the breath. Take it in, get what you need with the air. Good. Shake it out. Let's internally rotate and externally rotate. And a cat-cow. Rotate in, rotate out. We're doing these with the arms low, in and out, in and out, in. Big breathing and in and out. Let's go bigger with the arms and legs. So internal rotation, external rotation, internal rotation, external rotation. So it's kind of, my arms are kind of doing like a circly figure 80 thing. It should sort of naturally happen, but if you've never done this, it might not be natural at all. Using your breath. Open, open, open. Good, and relax. And let's take it down. Actually, let's not take it down to the floor. Let's do a couple more things up here. Let's circle our knees, circling your knees, letting that move through your foot. You can see how much my feet are moving. And go the other way. And then we're going to go away from each other, legs and feet circling in the opposite direction. Change direction again, coming in. Let your weight really shift through the edges of your foot, waking up all those little bones and muscles of the foot. 26 bones in there. Let's do pressing up, lower, bend your knees and stretch. Up, down, bend, stretch, up, down. If you like, bones of our feet and hands put together are like half the bones in your body, pretty much. Hands and feet, lots of bones in there. Let's just go up and down. Calf and Achilles working, pressing up, lower it down, up, down. So there's no bend in your knees, just going straight up, head to the ceiling, lowering your heels. 5 more, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then taking a a calf stretch. Taking yourself forward, you're going to bend your knee and let that go deeper into your Achilles and then push back through your heel. Bend your knee, push it back. Bend your knee, push it back. Bend your knee, push it back. Other side. Bend your knee, reach through the leg. Bend your knee, reach your heel back, reach your leg back. Bend your knee, reach it back. Bend your knee, reach it back. 3 more. 2. Last one. Good. Yeah, foundation, right? Our feet are the foundation of all of it. And since we've, as a culture, generally stick them into shoes that are often ill-fitted, it's not really helpful for the rest of our body to like achieve a decent equilibrium when our feet are in these like uncomfortable little canoes. Let's take it down to the floor. If you have weights, grab them. I've got a set of 3-pound weights. Actually, I have 2 sets of 3-pound weights, but it doesn't have to be a lot of weight. Could be less than 3-pound weights. Could be like a 1-pound weight, a 2-pound weight. Let's take it all the way down. Just trying to figure out my location. There we go. Aha, take a deep breath in. Ah, shake it out, make some noise. Let yourself really land. A lot of times we're like holding all this tension kind of picked up away from the earth. Let yourself just flop into it. Shaking is a great way of releasing tension. And when we release tension, we free up energy that's more fluid, right? As opposed to like stuff that's kind of blocked. Tension masks sensation, tension blocks flow. None of this is good for the health of our organism, of our body. Let's just drop from side to side with the knees, opening and closing. It seems like we've built a lot of our structures of society on sort of massive amounts of tension and control, like, it must be happening like this. See if you can let go of some of that in your own body. Letting your body move, being in the movement. Emily Conrad says, we are movement, and I agree. Everything in our body is constantly alive and moving. There is no real stillness or stuckness. Ultimately, it's all actually in motion. Let's cross over and take it a little deeper if it feels all right. If it doesn't feel good to do that in a twist, then take your upper body with it. So you're getting the massage through your back, but you're doing a right versus left pattern versus a spiraling pattern. But if the spiral feels good, go for that. So it's really up to you. Listen into your body. Massaging out the back of the hips and the lower back, and maybe also your shoulders as you're rolling from side to side. And then come in. Let's grab your weights if you have them. No weights is also fine. You can just bring your hands together. You're going to bring your knees together, turn your toes in, circling around your body. Inhale as you open, exhale as you come up, using your breath. Imagining the arms as extensions of your lungs. So, which they really are. You know, your arms are coming out of that upper quadrant of your body connected to your lungs. And inside of that, in the middle, is your heart, or on one side. So as we breathe, lungs are hugging the heart, change direction. Big breathing. Two more. Last one. Good. And come in. You can get rid of your weights. We're going to do a little bit more with your arms, though. You're going to stretch your legs down below you, flex your feet. Let's take a heel rock. We'll get to the arms in a second. Digging your heels into your mat or into the floor. See if you can send a ripple up and down through your body. So you're letting everything go. Imagine that you are just some jello with bones in it, and let your body totally relax and jiggle, sending this wave of movement up and down through the fluidity of your tissue, right? We are bodies of water. Even our bones are densely wet. Does that make any sense? Densely wet. They're not these dried out things. They are full of water and vitality. Not quite the right way of putting it, but imagine. And then rotate in and out. A lot of our aliveness is this relationship to the water in our body, right? Fluidity moving through us, not getting blocked up, not getting stuck. Okay, here's the other thing we're going to do with the arms. Flex your feet, arms up over your head, looking towards your toes, and inhale, open. Exhale up. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Change direction. Exhale, arms coming down. Inhale, over your head. Like you're pulling off a shirt. If you have the wherewithal to keep alternating which arm is on top as it comes up, try and do that. Add some thinking to your exercise. Last one. And relax. Turn your head easily from side to side. Free up your whole spine with a wiggle. Shake it out. Jiggly body. Let it go. So when we work our muscles, we don't want to like be building tension patterns that are held in there. We want to work, engage, release, engage, release, engage, release. And as we move between one activity to another, also coming into a neutral place in our muscles is going to be a lot healthier and maintain more resilience in your system. So all of these sort of shakeouts and releases are really important. And they're definitely missing in most workouts, right? There's not a lot of shaking, releasing, coming to neutral before you do the next thing. But that builds in resilience in the tissue because it gets a chance to release before it goes again. Let's press up and circle your hips. So I used to teach this, that you wanted to imagine like your pelvis was like a Ferris wheel basket with people inside, and you didn't want the people to fall out. So you weren't going to tip from side to side. But now I feel like you should let it tip from side to side. Let your spine have a little bit more freedom. So those are two ways you can play with that circle, with more mobility, letting the spine and pelvis have more freedom moving around, or keeping it even so that you don't dump your people out of the Ferris wheel. Circle the other way. Try both ways of doing it. One is more controlled, and the other one has more flow and more fluidity, more mobility. In my experience, it might be different for you. Good. And then come in, lower it down. Let's just take the legs up, give them a shake, 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 jiggle, 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 and take a quick happy baby pose. Wiggle around in your baby. Again, an opportunity to free up some flow, free up some movement by not just being in a static, stuck baby, but give it some movement, wiggle around. A live baby listening to the sensations in their body mind, right? Listening into what's going on. Let's take it into a roll forwards and backwards. If you're digging the baby, then stay there. But if you're up for more movement, then roll forwards and backwards. You can take this onto your legs if you want to. So there's a lot of things you could do here. You could come to standing and also to more of a shoulder stand, or you can come forward. I feel like just this action, let's actually just come into this action, because this is really great for your calves and Achilles. And that is just taking yourself forward, knees to the floor, and then taking it back, heels to the floor. If you can get all the way into a squat, bravo. If not, don't worry. You can move your hands as necessary. I'm just showing that. So you can take your hands forward and backward. Stretching through your feet, calf, Achilles. We're going to build on that. If this isn't working for you at all, come up. Don't go into such deep flexion. That's also fine, right? You can still move forward and backward and get something out of that. All right, if you're good, we're going to take it forward. You're going to come up and then take it back. Moving through, coming up and bringing it back and down. All of this is just sort of mobility exercises, which are doing a lot for your tissue if you can do them. And if you can't, and I have to say recently I couldn't do this because I had that knee thing, then you can just change it so that it works for you, right? It could be here to there, right? Getting up and down from the floor, no matter how we do it, is an important skill to have, one way or another, to get up and down. All right, enough of that. Let's take it down to the floor all the way. Let's do the full roll across our backs. So starting with your elbows and knees sort of together, you're going to open elbow and knee, opening, opening, opening until it rolls you on your back. And then the other elbow and knee close you over to the other side. So top elbow and knee working together, opening your body like a book all the way. And then you fold over to the other side. Try to relax your head into the floor, relax your neck, relax your shoulders. No tension, just pouring from side to side, massaging through the back of your body. If my back is hurting, this is a go-to for me. And then we're going to try going with the opening through the center and closing. So you're just going to unfold arms and legs, open it up, and fold it back in. Reach it out, fold it in. I'm still leaving my head really relaxed into the floor. A lot of times I see people do this exercise and they're all kind of crunched up. See if you can melt into the floor. Relax your back, relax your neck. Don't crunch up. Let your abdominals be loose and relaxed. The arms and legs guiding the movement, opening and closing. Good. And then let's come in and we'll do circles with your legs. So hands down by your underneath your butt if you need more support, or out to the sides, legs up, circles. Let's start small. I'm pointing my toes and then start to like let them get bigger and bigger if it feels okay. And beginning. I've already gone to big ones because I want to, but feel free to flex and point your feet at any time in those circles. Waking up your leg all the way to your toes. If you're popping and clicking in the joint, make it smaller and either let your leg really descend into the socket. So the weight of your leg is dropping down and in, you're feeling that connection in, or think of lengthening your leg out of the socket. Either of those and make it smaller should help with the popping and clicking. All right, shake it out, let it go. Big breath, land on the floor. Walk your feet so they're wider than your sticky mat. Internally rotate one leg at a time, spiraling in. So I feel like because we live in such a sitting culture, some of the things that are the most important to do if you're sitting a lot is this kind of bridge up and then those circles. But this internal rotation where we're getting all that tissue, or if you're a cyclist, internal rotation, or a dancer, this is really important for you to get this internal rotation so that the tissue in your legs learns to be in different ways. Or another way of saying that is that the layers of the tissue in your leg can slide and glide. They don't get gummed up. Because if they're always just going one way, like let's say these are two of the layers, and I'm always just doing out, 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 not in, I don't get as much mobility between those layers. And we want mobility between some of the layers of fascia, like your IT band, and there's a little layer underneath that's really gelatinous and cross-hatching in the other direction. Those need to be able to move. If we didn't have that kind of freedom in the tissue, it would be much harder to move. So we want to make sure we're doing movement where we're internally rotating our legs and also where we're externally rotating. Not to mention like the whole fascia from your back around, wrapping here towards your knee, like all of that needs to have this differentiated movement. It doesn't need to, but you're going to feel better if you have that if you have that capacity in your body. And movement, when we start changing the patterns in our movement, we start changing the way the fascia is in our body, right? We move that way, we take our time with it, we give it time to adjust, and then our body starts to become more resilient in different ways. All right, if all goes well. That is certainly my experience of it. Taking your hands behind your head, let's put our knees together again. Let's go with straight legs on this. So straight legs, reaching down below you, flex your feet. You're going to come up in a circle and then down to the floor, circling. We're just going to go in one direction a few times. And then change direction, other way. Last one. Laying down, you're going to leave your head stable. So you don't want to turn your head from side to side for this. We're going to move our eyes. Let's actually just take our hands on our chin so that we can feel if we're moving our head. And you're going to look down without moving your head. Move your eyes down to the right, to the total right side. Think of it like a clock. When you're going down to 6 o'clock, maybe I should have started that up. Well, you're going to go backwards around the clock. Down, going up towards 3 o'clock, going up to 12 o'clock, to 9 o'clock, down to 6 o'clock, change direction, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, all the way down. Relax for a second, close your eyes, and then look up, go to 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, back to 12 and go the other way, all the way around the clock. Close your eyes, relax them, and then look straight forward. And then you're just going to look to the right, look to the left, and then look to the left, look to the right, up, down, down, up. Then you're going to take the diagonal. So you're going to go to high right to low left to high right. That was you're just repeating the diagonal, right? I'm just saying up to the opposite and then going back. And then high left to low right and low right to high left, right? Letting your eyes have some movement. Rub your hands together. Take the palms of your hands. Just cover your eyes without pushing in. You're just cupping your eyes and relax. And then from that position, just relax your neck and head. So my eyes are now just hanging out, resting, and you can't see me, but I'm gently turning my head from side to side, a little bit of up and down. I'm letting the back of my cranium drop into the floor, but I'm moving it so that my head and neck are having a little bit of freedom in there. Thinking of really relaxing that occipital joint where your head's connecting onto your spine. The axis and the atlas in there having some nice, easy fluidity, some movement, and then let's let that go. Shake it out. And let's take our knees up and then a spiral. So if it feels okay, going for the big spiral. And if you'd like to make it harder, you can straighten out your legs. I'm going to turn my head away from my legs. Using my arms and back to support the movement. Of course, like this is my whole core is working together with my arms to make this spiral. Last one. Coming in, and let's just do this onto our butts. Coming up. Normally I just charge away, but now I'm looking at the people in my room and see, are they there yet? Side to side. Massaging through your glutes. Windshield wipers with the knees. I would say most people are holding too much tension in their butt. So relax your glutes, relax your rotators. And then let's go for the big circle up, take it down, open it up, and take it down. I include myself in that. And when I was saying, oh, if my back hurts, I often wake up and my back hurts and I get down the floor and roll around for a while and then it feels okay. So for me, it's really like movement is the key to release pain in my body most of the time. But that doesn't mean super intense movement. It often means really gentle movement. A lot of just rolling around, but sometimes more intense movement because we want to get the blood flowing. So it's like we want to do all of it sometimes, none of it all the time. And start to notice, like, how do we feel after we do something? What is the result of doing things? All right, let's flip it over onto our bellies, all the way down onto our stomachs on the mat. Let's just try this. So what you're going to do is you're going to go from your Sphinx position. Just trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. Yeah, you're just going to go, this is just a roll. You're going to roll across your body and come to your butt and come up, take it down, roll to the floor into your Sphinx, all the way down. Come up, other side, push, roll, come onto your butt, sit up, take it down. And I'm not trying to do this in any kind of dancer way, like, oh, it needs to be this certain way. Just feel what it feels like to roll and sit up, and then to take it back down to the floor. And it could be slow, rolling, sitting up, taking it down all the way to the floor. Rolling, sitting up, and taking it down. If that's too much, just roll to one side and then roll to the other side and see, like, how are you doing that? Are you pushing? there's a lot of ways it could happen. All right, that's enough of that. Come onto your belly on the mat. So all of this is like mobility work. Like if we play with it and think about it here, then it's going to be easier. Hey, Peapod. Then it's going to be easier if you fall to get yourself wherever you got to go, or just to get in and out of bed, right? Sometimes I feel like when I'm teaching classes and looking at people in the class, they're having such a hard time with the transition. Great at the exercises, but the transitions, not so much. I've got a little pea on my foot, a little Peapod cat. All right, hands next to your chest. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, connect your hands, come all the way up. Take it down. 2 more times like that. Last one. And we're going to change it. So we're going to go with just your upper body, no hands. Your head's going to go to the right and come up and to the left, and then graze the floor with your nose. Right, up, high, left, and down. Right, up, left. Just 3 in one direction and then the other way. To the left, up, to the right, and down. And my hands are there as support, maybe a little bit of push, but not a whole lot of push. Just circling around. Good. And relax. Arch up and take it to a child's pose. Breathe into your child's pose. Wiggle around. Try to really fill up on your inhale, and exhale, melt, let go. Shift around side to side. Breathe. Reach your arms away from your head and then draw them back in. So you can reach your fingers out, shoulders coming up to your ears, and then retract, draw them down. Reach it up, draw them down. Reach it up, draw them down. Reach them up, draw it down. Reach it up, draw it down, and come up onto hands and knees. And we're going to do circles with your chest. So again, thinking about your heart inside of your lungs there, heart and lungs mobilizing inside of your ribs, the bones of your ribs. Letting your arms push away from the floor, change direction. Last one. Coming up over your hands. Let's go onto the back of the hands. And from here, just monkey fists. Pulling in. Let's curl and round with the monkey fist and then do a little arch. So it's a cat-cow with your monkey fists. I don't know why I call them monkey fists. I guess it's the knuckles on the ground thing. And when my hand is back like that, like I can't make a full fist. It's kind of like not as good as one where I'm here. Let's take the elbows to the floor. You're going to rotate, open, and close, massaging out your forearm. So I'm bearing weight in my forearms. I'm taking my weight onto that and rolling into it. Let's bring up the wrists here, flip it over, wrists up. Flip it over, curl the hands in, flip it over, curl the hands in, flip it over, hands up, flip, curl, flip. Take it into a forearm plank, pushing forward and backward, head forward, heels back. And then one knee to the floor at a time, parallel, dropping down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take it down, bend your knees, windshield wipers. Relax your butt, relax your quads. Let's make those windshield wipers into a circle. Change direction. . 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting undernea And then egg beater. What is that? I have to think about it. Wait a minute, can I do it? There we go. So for the egg beater, it helps if my hips are going in the same direction. But one leg's up, one leg's out. See if you can change the direction. If the egg beater is totally confusing to you, don't feel bad. Clearly, it's totally confusing to me too. And then rotate your legs away from each other. So you're turning in and out. Again, you're getting that tissue in your quad and really around the whole femur head to get some circling movement. Great. Let's take the arms out to the sides, circles with the hands. It's a very circly day today. Flex through the heels of the hands. Make fists down to the floor. Lift everything up. Float it around. Take your hands next to your chest. Arch up. Take it back to a child's pose. Breathe. Soften and melt. Shift from side to side. Relax your spine. Relax your head and neck. Nice flow through your head-tail connection. Nourishing the discs, moving around, letting your spine and disc relationship readjust for maximal health. And let's take it forward and back down. Arms out to the sides again, circling forward this time. Flex up through the heels of the hands, reach out through your fingertips. Fists down to the earth. Lift the whole thing up. Radiate out, breathe. And then hands next to your chest, take it up. Child's pose one more time. Wiggle around. Let go. Free up your spine. And take it forward. And let's come on to our sides. I said we were going to, on Thursday, I said we were going to do all of this like leg stuff. And we're kind of doing it, but in a different way. So let's start with our legs straight down below. Flex feet, parallel. Let's go with that top leg up and down. Parallel, low leg, going 1, 2, 3, 4. Tippy toes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pointed toes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it out. Flex foot, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tippy toes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pointed toes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it in. Flex foot. Heel up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pointed toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax for a second. Give it a little tap. We're going to kick up and down for 8, flexing up, pointing down. Big kicks. Going 1, 2, turned out leg. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tap it out, let it go. We're going to do the inside leg. So I think that's all we're going to do for that. We're just going to do that. But we're going to take the inside leg, flex foot, parallel, pulsing up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pointed toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it out. Heel up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pointed toes. 1, 2. Hello, inner thigh. Turn it in. Flex up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pointed toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. Here comes the white kitty. Squeaky deeks. All right, let's relax onto your back. We're going to open up into an inner thigh stretch. Open it out. Rock from side to side. Let that massage out your hips. Inner thigh releases. and then come in. The leg that was just on top is going to cross over the other one, knee over knee, grab on and draw it in towards you. Breathe. Release, shake it out. Flip around to the other side. Taking it onto your side, leg straight down below you, parallel. So make sure you're not in that Pilates pike, right? Legs are right underneath you, long through your body. Flex foot, parallel going 1, 2, 3, 4, tippy toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, pointed toes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it out. Flex 1, 2, 3, 4, tippy toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, pointed toes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it in. Flex foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, tippy toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, pointed toes, 1. Take a little snapshot. Where is your brain right now? I feel like when we go into these side lying exercises, everyone kind of zones out because I noticed that I do it too. Let's flex and kick up and point down. Going 1, 2, 3, 4. Kindness to your body. 5, 6. Kindness to your body, mind. 7, 8. Letting go of perfectionism, letting go of like fixing, objectifying from the outside, right? Be present with. In bottom leg, flex foot up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, tippy toes. 1, 2. This is parallel. 3, 4, pointed toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it out. Flex 1, 2, 3, 4, tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, pointed toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, pointed toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. We did turned out and turned in. And we've done all of it. Roll onto your back. If I'm wrong, Saul isn't here to tell me. But I was just thinking about that. Actually, what I was spacing out and thinking about was perfectionism in our teachers. Like when we're so all about getting it right and everything has to be perfect and people have to be perfect. There's such a rigidity to that. It lacks fun. That's for sure. Perfectionism is not fun. So make some mistakes. Fuck it up. Let's cross the leg that was on top, crosses over. It used to drive me crazy in like ballet classes when teachers would make mistakes and mess things up. And now I'm like, I do everything that they did wrong. Like I fuck it all up too. So pardon my French, but get out there and make some mistakes and then let it go. Who cares? It's no big deal. And relax. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Arms to shake them out. And let's come up and just sit in a forward fold. If you're tighter, then you can bend your knees here. If you're looser, just let it go. Breathe into it. Melt, soften. Of course, if you're like a mathematician or an architect, you have to be precise. But when it comes to the body and movement, I mean, we want a certain amount of precision, and it's great to go for that, tightness and I mean, like, I'm thinking of the Rockettes. Like, they're pretty amazing. It's great to have like specificity and clarity, but not when it becomes so rigid and like fixed in its thinking. It's interesting. Anyway, we got to have both. We got to have some of the total free form stuff and then some of the really specific stuff. And actually in here, we're mostly doing specific stuff, but we want to do it with freeness in our mind, in our way of thinking about it. All right, let's take our butts up to the air, also known as the sky, the ceiling. Just open your feet wide, shift from one side to the other. Free up your head-tail connection, your tail to head, sensing into that. Every day is a different day in your body. Every day it might feel slightly different. So tune into the aliveness and the awakeness of your body as it is right now in this moment. And then roll it all the way up, coming up. Oh, I was just thinking my camera stayed on this whole time and then it stopped. So we'll switch to this other camera. All right, but we're at the end anyway. Inhale, open. Now I have two cameras so that the one that's broken, I think I just need to write to the company and be like, it is not working, because it can be plugged in and on and not connecting, but the other one is connecting. So who knows? Me and technology. We have a kind of interesting semi-dysfunctional relationship. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And also incredibly functional at other times. All right, anyone out there in TV land, if you joined us, if you made it, like and subscribe, do all the things. And that's that. Ending the live stream. Have a happy new year.